Kory, and today he got second place at our non-meta tournament with Abyss Actors.
I would like to point out that one of those matches I totally did not deserve to win. Utopia double won me one game, and then game two, he had 3 ways to stop me from Utopia doubling him again, except he didn't activate anything. I don't think he remembered. He's new to the Dark he's playing. I don't care what excuse. I still don't feel like I deserve to win that game. Anywho, now that that's out of the way, deck profile. Alright, so starting off, Abyss Actors are a great pendulum deck if you want to stay within your main deck. They kind of lock themselves in their own archetype, which is why I cannot wait for their support, their final support to come out with that Link 1 monster, which is low-key broken in this deck. Anywho. So, for monsters, I start off with 3 extras. Extras is your 1 card into, can't think of names. Mellow Madonna, which Mellow Madonna is a 1 card scale by paying 1,000, locking yourself into Abyss Actors, and then searching any Abyss Actor card. This one, though, when he's on field, he can tribute himself for cost in order to place 1 scale from your deck. Which, like I said, you're going to do Mellow Madonna, and if you're going second, which with this deck you kind of want to, he can put himself into the Pendulum Zone, special summon himself, and then you can trade him off so you don't even waste your normal summon. Just know that when you use his effect, he locks himself, and locks you into Abyss Actors, period. Next, I run 2 of him. I hate him. I hate him so much. The only reason I run him is because he is a scale 8, and sometimes that is exactly what's needed. I mean, sometimes his attack boost is great, and he can combo off with the spell, with the Abyss Script spell that lets you tribute off 1 Abyss Actor to get Abyss Script back from the grave. Because he can use his effect, give his attack to a different monster, and then go off that way, but other than that, I hate this card so much. Anywho. This is the real scale 8 that I really like. I only run the other one because Twinkle Little Star is not out yet. This guy is a great scale 8. He is a creature swap where you get to choose the targets. And if he's in the main monster zone, when he switches control, it pops 1 of your back row. So you can at least get this off during your standby phase 2, say draw 5, search 2, special summon, however many you can. It just depends on the setup, and granted, I never really use his monster effect, and I mainly use him for the scale and the creature swap effect. He's still pretty decent, and no battle damage from attacks involving him, so like it's not the worst thing to happen. Next is Curtain Raiser. Lets you dump stuff to the grave, on your Abyss Scripts to the grave to add 1 Pendulum monster from your extra deck back to your hand. That's an Abyss Actor. He also special summons himself once per duel, which allows for Utopia double plays. I like having him at 3 just because he has the 7 scale, which means I can summon pretty much everything except for my level 7s, obviously. Once again, once the Link 1 gets in, their scale problem is going to be solved, and they'll be able to play a lot easier. Anywho. Just 1 leading lady. Her pendulum effect is completely worthless. She is a 2 scale though, so that's not the worst. And the only reason I have her in here as a 1 of is because she can search Abyss Scripts when she's destroyed. So if you use Sassy Rookie, they destroy Sassy Rookie. You can special summon her in defense, and you manage to get an Abyss Script. But I also run 3 Wild Hope, which is the Abyss Actor Searcher. It's her counterpart, except better, because it can make your scales 2 and then whatever one's in your other one a 9, which locks you into Abyss Actors. And the nice part is whenever he's destroyed, be it from scale or anything else, you get to search. For any Abyss Script card. Uh-oh, what did I do? Okay, I fixed it. Anywho, on to the next. Sassy Rookie. The best wall anybody could ever ask for. He is a wall and a floater. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effect once per turn. When he is destroyed, you get a special summon a level 4 or lower Abyss Actor monster. And if he's destroyed from the Pendulum scale, you actually get to target a level 4 or lower monster that your opponent controls and then destroy it. So he's kind of got dual utility. And if you have him in scale and one of your Abyss Actor cards would be destroyed for whatever reason, you can actually destroy him instead, which once again procs off his ability to destroy one level 4 or lower monster your opponent controls. Just great wall, love him, always love seeing him. Off to the level 7s. 3 Mellow Madonna. She has 1 card scale. She does so much for the deck, and the only downside is that even though she does search all your Abyss Actors, she locks you into Abyss Actors as well, so if you do use her effect to get like the other level 7s or whatnot, you can't actually link up, you can't XYZ, you can't do any of that stuff, you're stuck in Abyss Actors. Once again, that is my main problem with the deck, but at the same time, there is a reason to do that. Konami probably didn't want yet another Pendulum combo deck. Anywho, next level 7, got 3 Superstar. Superstar can set Abyss Script cards directly from your deck, and since it's a level 7, your opponent cannot respond when it's summoned, so if you're facing off against like Trap Tricks and you keep Pendulum summoning this out, they can't activate any of their trap holes to destroy anything. Which only came in handy once, and that was facing against Tide like, what, a month and a half ago? Otherwise, you can actually tribute your Abyss Actor cards from your field to get 1 Abyss Script from your graveyard, but that's only if it's in the Pendulum scale. And then I run 1 of the level 8s. He's not good. I can bring him out sometimes, but he is a 3,000 beater. Sadly, he is a level 8, and he can attack over pretty much anything. See, just as long as you can target it and they're not unaffected, because when he's summoned, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, and it loses attack for every Abyss Actor card you control. So just him summoning himself, that's already downing, like, say, a Blue Eyes down to 2,000 and you're attacking over it. But once again, you have to be able to target. Anywho, that's it for the monsters. I don't run any hand traps. I tried to make this as pure as possible because the deck really only works with itself, and you kind of need as many of the Abyss Actor cards as you can, and the hand traps actually do you more harm than good when you're trying to make your plays. Anywho, Abyss Script, Rise of the Abyss King. This card is a godsend. If you set this off of Superstar to activate, since you have a level 7 or higher, it's a spell speed 4, which means they can't respond to it, and you get to pop face-up cards on your opponent's side of the field. Oh no, just on the field, period. Up to the number of Abyss Actor monsters with different names in attack position on your field. So you can very easily pop 8 cards off the field in 1 turn if your opponent has enough. It just depends on how your plays are going, and when this card is destroyed in the back row by your opponent's stuff, you get to search out any 2 Abyss Actor or Abyss Script cards and add them to your hand from your deck, which granted is not the most powerful, but that's still a +1 at the end of the day, and it's still a popper that can be recycled. Hence why I only run the 2. I run 2 Opening Ceremony. I am thinking about tinkering with some stuff in here, possibly adding a 3rd one of these or one of these, but I like the fact that if it's popped in the back row, you can make your opponent, you can make yourself draw 5. And with the field spell in this deck, making this go off is not that hard, and replenishing your entire hand in a deck that goes through its resources like mad is super helpful. Anyways, the life point gain isn't the biggest, but if you need to send it to grave for whatever effects, yada yada yada, to combo off, then you can just quickly activate this and you're good to go. Just make sure you're searching the right stuff in this deck. Some of the cards look semi-similar. Anyways, to Abyss-tainment. This card is your recovery from the graveyard. It can be used up to twice per turn, which I love the fact that it's twice per turn. The nice part is when this card is destroyed in your back row, you can special summon as many Abyss Actor monsters as you possibly can, as you want from your deck onto the field. The only downside about all the Abyss Script cards is that you have to have an Abyss Actor card in your extra deck, face up in your extra deck. Otherwise, their effects just won't go off. They'll fizzle. Yeah, just run the 2. Next is 3 of the field spell. This card in this deck is honestly one of the biggest annoyances I have with this deck because it's Abyss Playhouse. It's not Abyss Script. It's not searchable through any of the archetype whatsoever. No, you have to either hard draw into this or you have to terraform into this. That's it. Anywho, I'm fine. Anyways, this card is great for getting extra Abyss scripts to your hand, because just as long as you can reveal one Abyss actor and one Abyss script in your hand, you can add an Abyss script with a different name than the one you revealed. And if you have a Pendulum Summon monster, and your opponent activates a monster effect, the first monster effect per turn, it's a mandatory deal. It just changes it to destroy one set spell or trap card your opponent controls. So this could either make my opponent's effects fizzle if I don't have anything set, or if I do have things set, then destroy, activate, special summon 5. Or however many. I guess it'd be 4 at that point because I have a Pendulum Summon monster. Could be 5 depending on how I do it. Anyways, doesn't matter. Love-hate relationship. Might down it to 2 because I'm getting really tired of seeing multiples, but I also don't want to down it to 2 because there's no other way to search it other than terraforming, and it is really helpful to stop like Ash, Roll, any of that stuff. Anyways, that's it for the Abyss stuff. Off to 3 Allure of Darkness. Your entire monster lineup is dark. You have enough darks. If you want to down this to 2, I would not blame you. I can understand. I just like it at 3 so I can kind of cycle through my deck a bit faster. 1 Terraforming. Abyss Playhouse. 1 for 1 to get to extras a lot faster, because granted you are going -1 just to summon out the Abyss Actor extras, but that way you can at least get 1 card in your on your face up in your extra deck. Wow. And you also get Mellow Madonna, which gets you the scale, which if you have anything else in your hand can also go off. So I found it worth it enough to play it the 1 for 1. And Double or Nothing, because if you open up with any level 4, let's just Wild Hope. With these 2 cards, level 4 and Curtain Raiser, you have game. If they can't stop your double. If they can't stop your double. But yeah, just the 1 Double or Nothing. It's literally only there for the Utopia package. Explains itself. Alright, and for the extra deck, Dragulus. If I'm going to switch anything out, it's going to be Dragulus. He's literally just a win more card in this deck, and there's better options. I'll probably remove him and him for at least 2 of the Link ones, but Baguska, because if you go turn 1 and you just rank 4, Baguska, you've at least got some form of wall. And sometimes that's all you really need. Abyss Dweller, rank 4, once again, you can go into him fairly easily, and this shuts off graveyard decks. Tornado Dragon, back row, the entire double package, and yes, I know this is a German copy. No, I'm not happy about it. I'm not a fan of foreign cards. But Utopia double, just to go into Utopia. For some reason you don't win, you can go into Utopia the Lightning, and you have these 2 as material at the very least. So you'll be able to at least attack for 5,000 if they attack into it once. So you've at least got some form of defense, and that's the main reason I like it. Anyways, for the finals of the XYZs is Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, and that is because I run enough level 7s to go into this, and obviously when this leaves the field, you get to go into this. So free negates in a Pendulum deck. If you can summon it, you summon it. I don't know what else to tell you. Anyways, off to the links. 1 Link Karibo. Love-hate relationship with this card right now, because I do have a couple level 1s in there, but I've never needed to actually go into this guy, so he might be getting cut for the 3rd Link 1 that comes out of the deck when it comes out, because he's really not worth it after that. Anyways, Beat Cop from the Underworld. I mainly use this to combo so that when I have, say, 4 monsters on board, use 2 of them to make this, use 2 of the level 7s to go into this, then link it into Zephronic and Metaltron, so then you get the other guy, but that's literally the only reason he's in here, and it's just any 2 monsters, so if I can go into this and it doesn't hurt too much, or if I have to, I can just tribute it off and protect something at the very least if it's going to leave the field anyways. Next is Phoenix, back row hate, Nightmare, Unicorn, because if you go into this, if you really have to, you can hit this and this to go into Unicorn, bounce 1 more thing, this comes out, bounces another thing. All on you. Once again, Metaltron, I really, really like him in this deck, First of all, he's a Link 3 that all points down, and in a Pendulum deck that is really helpful right now. He's really easy to go into in this deck, and honestly, if I have enough to go for game though, I will go for Boral Sword, but the downside to Abyss Actors, their biggest downside is they lock themselves into their own archetype way too often for me to be able to go into this stuff at any time I want. I do feel like this is pretty solid. Like I said, once the Link 1 comes out, I'll probably be cutting Link Kuriboh and these two just to make the deck function a little bit better. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the build. I had a lot of fun playing it today. There's not much I would change. Yeah, if you plan on building the build, I'd be interested to see what other cards you guys have, or other builds you guys are trying to do, but drop those links down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and have yourselves a great time.